Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? I am just driving onto the neighbour's field just a tiny bit in order to turn round here. But I don't think he'll mind, because chances are we could end up buying his field anyway, so he'll probably be okay with it. How deep is the mud here? Oh, that's okay. So we've got one trailer load here that we've taken out of this field, and I've just been looking around to see what's the best way to actually take the silage back, because I don't really want to have to go all the way back to near the dealership and then up the road. And I think I have found a shortcut that we can use to get in and out of this field a lot faster than what we have been doing in the past. We've got to come up here next to field 97. Let me just turn my beacons on and we'll come in around here. My question for this week is we need to turn up here and we follow this track along. It cuts between the two fields. My question for this week is, I have, we've got the few grass fields. We did hay in them the last time round. We'll get another cut this year. Do you want me to do another cut of hay and use that to feed our cows through part of the winter and then buy in the rest of the hay that we need? Or do you want me to do silage bales and sell the silage bales? Because obviously we're doing silage in a clamp. So what we would do is we would get silage bales, and all of those we would sell, and then we would use that money to buy hay and hopefully have a little bit left over as well, because silage is worth quite a bit of money. But you might prefer to see me trying to be a bit more self-sufficient and not relying on other farmers having hay for sale in the middle of the winter. It could be a bit dicey. We might not have hay available to buy. We'll sort of have to wait and see. But anyway, it's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Do you want me to do hay for the next grass cut, or do you want me to do silage bales? Where is the track? Oh, it's just in here. We want to come into this bit right here, and we go bouncing down along this track. We could actually have gone down the road there and come in the track at the back end of the farm instead. That might have been an easier way rather than trying to bomb down this track. I mean, it does depend. You do try to avoid doing too much road work when you're doing silage and the likes, because obviously being on the road, it could lead potentially to accidents and things like that. But on the other hand, you can go faster on the roads. This track down the back here, however, does seem to be in pretty good nick, so maybe we could get a decent turn of speed going along the track. We do have that sharp corner there that could result in us driving on the crop a little bit. Hopefully not too much. So yeah, you've got to kind of weigh up all the different sort of pros and cons of the various bits for while you're doing your silage, and like the different aspects of where you could go fast, where you've got to slow down, that sort of thing, so that you can get the silage back to the yard and dumped as quickly and efficiently as possible without anybody getting hurt. It does kind of help a lot if nobody gets hurt while you're doing it, but there we go. Hopefully we won't have any injuries this time, so if we can back up in here and we'll tip. I think backing up to tip this turn, sort of from here on in, is kind of the best way forward. We've got, well, time we tip this out, we're going to have about 180,000 litres of silage in here. Yeah, 186,000 litres of silage, which is quite a bit of silage. That's going to see us through a lot of the winter. We're going to keep, obviously we're going to keep going, so we're not going to need to buy that other field. You know, we were talking about getting another field. I don't think we're going to need to buy that one. I think we can just stick with the ones that we've got, and then we can use that extra money that we've got. We do need to buy 2 combines, and we are looking at 2 now. I'm thinking that we will probably buy both of them if we've got the cash sitting around. That would be quite useful. And then we'll just be able to run 2 combines, which is never a bad thing, I don't think. It's always good to be able to run 2 combines rather than just one. I did forget to turn my beacons on. I've turned them on now, don't worry. Where do we want to go? It was, isn't it here that we got to go through? No. Oh no, we got to keep going. But yeah, we might also be able to buy a bit more grassland, or actually it might be better if we buy a cropped field and then turn it into grass later on. I'm thinking that might be a better way to do it, because then we're not going to have to plough it all up. We just buy a crop field we could harvest it and get the crop from it, and then we could turn it into grass. So it'll save us having to plough it. The grass fields that we've got, we're planning to turn into grass, and I'm also thinking that the field 86, the one that we're doing out here with the corn on it, I am wondering whether we should do this one as grass. I'd like your opinions in the comment section on this one. It is a bit of a nuisance trying to work this field. Well, whatever jobs we're doing, the ploughing and cultivating and all that, it is a bit of a nuisance because of the huge number of objects that are around in the field. It does make it a bit difficult to deal with. We'll just run in around on the actual edge of the field now because we've sort of cut through there. I just wanted to see what that track was like when we went out the first time. Yeah, so maybe if we did this one as grass, it's still going to be difficult to deal with whatever we do. So this field is a bit of an enigma because of the sheer number of objects in the field. Most of the others are pretty clean. There is one near the farm that has also got a load of objects in the field, but it's not as bad, I don't think. I mean, maybe we should just leave it with cropping. There's one thing that I am seriously considering doing, and that is changing the fertilizer requirement so that we only have to do one pass, because I did find that this year I did one lot of fertilizer while you guys seen it, and we did some of the planting with fertilizer in the machine, but the majority of fertilizing, the extra layers that needed to be applied, I did that off camera, and it kind of seems like an exercise in futility in me having to go back and do it off camera when we could just have one layer of fertilizer. So I want your opinions on that today. Do you think that I should be doing fertilizer on still keep with the 3 layers of fertilizer or not? One way round it that I have got, it does make a bit of a difference, is there's a fertilizer mod that you can get, a manure mod now, that if you, see, he's going to go straight into that and he's not going to work at all. So let's just turn you off, you're not being useful. And I'll turn B so he turns on, and we'll go round. Yeah, there is a mod that I've now got, the manure mod. It's on Modhub. It's available on Modhub for anybody that wants to use it. And what it does is, if you apply manure onto the field and then you cultivate afterwards... Right, I've gone too far from the machine in order for it to do anything, but I can press H now and he can carry on. Right, if you apply manure to the field and then you cultivate or plough afterwards, it counts, the cultivating or ploughing counts as a second layer of fertilizer. So certainly for crops that have fertilizer being applied whilst they're being drilled, you can use the manure mod. You can do muck spreading on the field, then cultivate it so that you're cultivating it in, and that'll get you a second layer of fertilizer essentially, and then you run over it with the drill, and that's job done. We don't need to worry about it then. So I'm torn between the two. At the moment we don't have a very big pile of manure back in the yard. We've hardly got anything at all there, but I mean, that's if we don't do very much winter. I'm thinking that we probably won't do very much autumn cropping. We'll do mostly spring cropping. So we could sort of do it like that. But I'd like your opinions today on whether you think I should bother with the manure mod and things like that, and keeping the extra layers of fertilizer, or should we just have one layer of fertilizer? One pass of fertilizer gets you a full 100% fertilizer rather than having to do 3. It makes the job a lot easier. I know that this is supposed to be a realistic series, but I'm still going back to the fact that I did most of the fertilizer spreading off camera. I just told you that I'd done it, and it's kind of, yeah, it doesn't really make much sense to me to just say, oh yeah, I've done the fertilizer. You're not really benefiting from this, and all it's doing is I got to spend a lot of time doing this, which is sort of taking time away from other things that I could try to do to improve episodes or find extra mods, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'd really like to hear what you think about all of this. There are kind of a couple of routes, I think, different ways that we could approach it. I'm not sure how many years worth we're actually going to run this series for. Somebody did say that they thought that this series would run for 48 episodes for year 1, because we'd end up doing an episode per day, and I said no, that won't happen. But it's starting to look an awful lot like it might actually do that, which is a bit unfortunate. It wasn't what I was intending. Definitely wasn't intending for it to end up like this. So I'm hoping that we will speed things along, and we will at least maybe we'll finish it before we'll get year 1 done before episode 40. Then we're going to be reducing the number of days. I'm thinking that we'll probably go down to 6 days in a year. Now, where is that road with there? We go down to 6 days in a year rather than 6 days in a year. 6 days in a season. I was thinking of 3, but I think that'd be too many because you have a transition every single day. I don't think we want that. If we had a transition every 2 days, I think that could work quite well. Because at the moment we've got a transition every 4 days. It does take a long time to get through anything, so we will change it. We'll cut it in half. The year length number of days will cut in half. I don't think it's going to seriously affect us, though. I don't think we're going to sort of lose out on anything, but it means that we have to spend less time worrying about feeding the animals, because you can cram a lot more food in there and it will last them a lot longer. They get 3 days worth of food regardless, so they'll get half a season stuffed into their feeding troughs if you have it on 6 days, compared to quarter of a season, not even a full sort of transition period, like from early summer to midsummer to late summer and so on. At the moment we're having to do 2 feedings per transition, and yeah, it is slowing us down quite a bit, so it'd be nice to sort of speed things up. I'm not going to follow those cars. I'm going to go down this track over here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to dump this load of silage. I'm going to go back, I'm going to fill up and do another load of silage over to the clamp, and then I'll see you again and we can get onto the bulldozer and we can do a little bit more of rolling the clamp with our leaper, because we did a little bit and then it's just kind of been sat there, so we want to use that one again. And we have another load coming in now. This is the second load that I've brought back. We're doing all right out in the field. We've still got quite a lot of silage to bring in. We're definitely not going to want any more fields of silage after this. But once we've tipped this one, we'll start up that leaper bulldozer again and take another bash at squashing down this silage. I think that thing is absolutely fantastic. That has got to be one of the best silage compaction mods that I have found yet. We'll see what it's like though once you've when we start putting it on a little bit more silage, because obviously it makes a big difference. You can have just a couple trailer loads at 100,000 litres or less, and it doesn't really need a massive amount in order to squash it down. You could do that with a really small tractor. We could have our little International working on it, and it would do a really good job. So the real test is obviously when you have a lot more silage in the clamp, and you've got to start working on it then. So if we just stop that one there a second, we'll do a little quick session with the bulldozer, and then we can head off and start doing some more silage. One thing that you would sort of note with the bulldozer is you wouldn't be driving on here. Look at the tiles here. Look at the concrete in that. That would have ripped it to shreds, especially something this weight. This thing is a phenomenal weight. This is a massive like mining type bulldozer. This is not your normal roadside bulldozer. This is serious heavy duty plant, like big heavy duty stuff. This is far bigger than you would. You probably wouldn't see this working on the side of the road unless it was a major road building project. It would have to be a big road building project to even see this one working on the side of the road. For the most part, this is the kind of thing that would be used with mining. You'd expect this bulldozer to be in an open cast mine, but already it's compacted this another 20%, and we're on 250,000 litres of chaff in here already. So yes, we don't quite have millions of litres in here, but I don't think we're going to need millions of litres of chaff to see us through the winter. It's just, whoa, easy now, easy. Back up a little bit. It's not quite up to the standard of our Texas map, obviously. We had, I think it was about 5 million litres of chaff on that one altogether, which, considering the size of the map and the size of the cattle yard that we're going to be having soon, is not really much wonder. So just push that one up there. There we go. 86% compacted. I'm stuck. All right, let me inch forward a bit. Roll down there. That's 87, 88, 89%. I think that's enough. You don't actually need any more than that. It is getting a little bit laggy here. I'm wondering if it's just sort of still trying to update the silage or something, or maybe the mod itself is just causing a little couple of lag spikes. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, we need to go dashing back out to the field. We want to get a bit more silage. So I will meet you out at the field. We've still got several trailer loads to give. I reckon we've probably got another 5 or 6 trailer loads at least to get back here to the clamp before we've actually finished this job. Of course, now the big question is this forager going to get past the pylon, or is it going to catch on it? It's just going to squeeze past it. Only just, but it is doing it. Excellent. Right. We can carry on round the field. The next time we come round past that pylon, though, is going to be a little bit more tricky. And I have noticed going round the field that the AI vehicle extension will read the edge of the field, but it doesn't recognize any objects in the middle. We did see it for that one pole. I wonder if that was maybe just kind of a one-off, something a little bit unusual. But no, it wasn't unusual in the slightest, because it ploughed straight into the next one as well. So having the poles in the field does make life a little bit more difficult, but we can still work through it. We can get through this. We can do this. I'm sure we can. I do like having the Ford to do this job. This Ford, it's got that feeling of power. You know, I was talking about this last week, I think. Some tractors you get on, they're strong, but they just don't have that kind of feeling about them. The feeling of, they just kind of exude power. And some tractors, they do. They've just kind of got that sensation about them as you get into them, as you operate them, as you see them working. Just of being a really strong, powerful machine. This Ford tractor has that whole thing going on, with the whole power kind of thing going on. Whereas many others that I have seen don't have that. No, I did wonder if he was going to get round there. Oop, going the wrong way. Did wonder if he was going to get past there. It's not. You know what? Hang on a minute. If we just did that, it would probably work just as well. So let me just start the engine. Start that one up again, and if I come out just a little bit, all you needed to do was go there. Literally there, but it can't cope with that. How are you blocked by an object? You can keep going. There we go. Now it's going to work. So the AI vehicle extension is absolutely fantastic, but sometimes it does get a little bit confused. But then we all get a little bit confused sometimes, don't we? It's not always the easiest thing. And anyway, so we don't actually have as much as I thought we had. I said another 5 or 6 loads, but I'm thinking, I think maybe 5 loads in total. I mean, we're only halfway full on this one, and we've still got the 2 kind of islands in the middle of this field. So we do have a little bit still to do. I definitely won't be doing silage out here again, but maybe we'll just keep this one as a crop. Because once you've dealt with the field, you don't need to go back and you don't need to worry about it anymore. It does kind of make things a little bit easier if you can do it like that. Just wait there while that one turns around. It's this bit here. I don't think he's going to be able to get round this next corner at all. I just don't think he's going to be able to do it. Getting round this pylon over here. Come up through there. So what we're going to do is we'll just pull forward a little bit, and then we'll hop over into the forager, and we'll have to help it round the corner, I think. We'll stop there. Now what's it going to do? Yeah, it's just going to drive straight into the edge. What we want it to do is I'm going to come back up here a little bit, and I'm just going to go, I'm not going to do a sharp corner. I'm going to sort of ease it in gently so that it doesn't it doesn't like make a corner, so it doesn't have an additional corner to turn and try to negotiate when it's coming back round the next time. Because that's something that does tend to throw a little bit. If you have too many corners in there, it does really confuse the poor chap. So let's come up along there, and now I'm not actually harvesting anything, so we want to go back to our tractor. And if I can bring the tractor up as close as possible here, that might help. We're going to lose a little bit of our silage doing this. Hopefully, not too much. We're losing a lot of silage doing this. It doesn't like to point forwards, so we've just lost all of that. I suppose I should have followed it round the edge, I could have done, but I chose not to. It was my fault. Yeah, so now it's pointing forwards and it's recognising the trailer, but it does some... No, it kind of is and it kind of isn't. So this one we are going to have a corner, but hopefully it will still be able to negotiate it next time we come round there. And... Oh. I keep pressing the wrong side. So if I do that, then that one. Nope. I still got it wrong. And we come up here. So we've negotiated it at last. We've wasted a little bit of the side. Not very much. And the sheer quantity that we've got going into the pit, I don't think it's really going to make a massive amount of difference. Now, what it will do is it does come back. Sometimes it will just back straight into the trailer, because that's another thing. It will recognise if there's something in front of it sometimes, and it will stop. It will recognise if the tractor goes in front of it, and it will say that it's blocked by an object, and it will stop moving, which is a really handy little feature. But it doesn't do it when it's reversing. It will reverse into your trailer, and it will just keep shoving it across the field, which that isn't particularly helpful. That's not something that you want it to keep doing. But we can go dashing off now and empty this one, and then we should have time to come back and get another one. So I think this time I will go and empty, and I will come back and we can see the work in the field a little bit more. I think what we'll do is I will finish doing the silage between... we'll do a little bit more in this episode, and then I will finish in the... in between this episode and the next one, and then we will roll the clamp down at the beginning of the next episode, and... Oops, I'm on the wrong side of the road here. We'll roll the clamp down at the beginning of the next episode, sheet it down, and then we can get stuck straight into the combine. That's another one tipped. Filling up yet another load. I don't actually know how many loads we've done in this harvest. It would be quite interesting to know. That is one thing. You know that you've got if you look in the escape menu, you go back through a couple of sections here, it gives you all your statistics. One thing it doesn't do is it doesn't say, like, trailer loads of silage or something like that. That would actually be pretty cool if it would do that. I would quite like to see statistics like that. I think that would be something that could be added into the game. I don't really know how you go about it. I suppose not trailer loads, rather it would just have to be litres of chaff carried or litres of grain carried, something like that. That could be an interesting statistic to see. Oh, what about litres of chaff foraged? So that, you know, you've got some with the forage harvester and some picked up with the forage wagon. Maybe something like that. I'm not quite sure. There's got to be an extra statistic there somewhere. Now, for some reason, it thought that I was blocking it, and even though I wasn't completely blocking it, it still does that, and that's something that irritates me with this one. See, I'm nowhere near where it's going to be, and nowhere near its actual path, but it counts its path as being considerably further out than it actually is. Now, this is going to be a little bit tricky. We can't get in front of it because it's going to want to turn inside the corner in order to come around. It may even go as far as clipping the edge. No, don't clip, don't clip, don't... Oh, that was close. But yeah, because it's trying to avoid having to do too much in the way of a sharp turn, and so manoeuvring, it does cut the inside of a curve, and that was very, very close. It very, very nearly almost clipped the edge of that pylon there. Let's back up a little bit more so he's not trying to drive into us, and we should be able to get round this one. It's my timer going off. We should be able to get round this one without any trouble, and then the next time that we come through here is going to be a little bit more entertaining, I should think, because actually we'll probably kind of just bring it out on this side the first time, and then we can work out this little bit of corner here, and then we'll have to think about doing something a little bit more drastic. I think what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to go up round like this, and then come back down towards it while it's doing its turn, and hopefully we can both meet up without anyone thinking that anyone is in anyone's way. Yes, that's worked out quite nicely. Yeah, we'll come... The next time we come round, we can sort of... Actually, I'll probably be doing that on my own. Ooh. Looking at it now, maybe two more. After this one, two more trailer loads, I think we'll do it. But anyway, I'll be finishing this up, so we've just got to roll and sheet the clamp at the beginning of next episode, because we've done enough silage now. We've had enough of it. My weekly question. I have got these grass fields, and we're going to get another cut of grass before the year ends. So for this final cut of grass that we do you want me to do hay again? And so we're trying to basically be as self-sufficient as possible. We're not relying on having to buy in extra things. We want to try to maintain ourselves. So we do hay in those fields, and we will have to buy in a little bit of hay, but we probably won't have to buy in all that much. Or would you prefer me to do silage bales and buy in all of our winter feed? We've got a little bit of hay left, which is going to last us probably until the end of summer, maybe partway into the autumn as well. But then after that, we're going to need to start buying some in. But if we did silage bales, we would have plenty of money, because, you sell the silage bales... Oh, I'm actually full. I thought it was stopping because I was in the way, but nope, it's because I'm full. So, yeah, we could have silage bales. We could sell the silage bales and use that money to pay for a load of hay that we buy in through the winter. And we could very well have a little bit left over at the end, because silage does sell for a reasonable amount. But I don't know which kind of route you'd like me to take. So it's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Do you want me to do silage bales or hay bales for our next cut of grass? Right, that is about it. There's not been a huge variety today. I've just been going backwards and forwards with the silage trailer. We jumped onto the bulldozer a little bit. We did a little bit with the bulldozer yesterday, and we'll do a little bit with the bulldozer tomorrow. The problem with the bulldozer is that it's extremely efficient. It does squash that clamp down really, really fast. So if we were to go and say next year, instead of harvesting our crop, we would do the entire lot into the BGA, the bulldozer would be really good. I'm not actually going to do that, because it'd take a really long time to do the silage, and it would be really boring for you to watch, and it would have to take me several episodes to do that. So I don't have any plans to do a huge BGA harvest like that, but I might do that on the time-lapse map and then bring in a bulldozer to roll it down, because I think that would be absolutely awesome. It would be very, very cool. But anyway, I will finish doing this silage so that it is ready to squash down with that monster of a bulldozer over there in our next episode, and then we can get started on our actual harvest. We've got wheat to harvest, and we've got a load of canola to harvest as well, and then we'll have we'll have grass to cut. We'll have straw that we've got to bale up. We'll have a mountain of straw that we'll have to bale up. We got lots and lots that we've got to get done. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.